Hey guys, thank you for joining us on the Hit or Miss podcast. This is your host, Matt. I have with me today Frank
What's up?
and Nathan.
Yellow.
These are my two co hosts, and today is either going to be a hit or a miss, guys.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So for today's podcast, I think we still need to flesh out a lot of things, mainly an intro, an outro, and then a recap, and then we can just go to wherever we want to go from there. So, Matt, would you like to start us off with a nice intro?
Intro.
Or we can brainstorm an intro, you know.
Just be like, what's up, guys? This is the Hit or Miss podcast where we talk about, what should we say? Let's talk about what we want to talk about first, actually, before we figure out the intro. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was kind of like thinking about like how it's just gonna be mainly like self-improvement type stuff or like ideas that um we take from like some of like the major influencers from like YouTube and like trying to YouTube and other social media, internet in general, and like trying to apply them to ourselves and to our own mindset, and basically testing them out in the real world and seeing if like it's like really gonna help us, because I think we're all three of us are kind of in that. Well, I don't know about Nate yet, but me and me and Frank are kind of in that stage of our lives where we're like kind of obsessed about like min maxing our careers and our um physiques, and just trying
I'm
to.
doing. I'm trying to do that with the career part, but not the physique yet. I'm not that desperate yet. For now, I'm just settled. I'm good with you know.
And dude,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. Like I get it. I get it where you're at in your current stage of life, you know? Enjoy it while you still can.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not a knock on you. It's just like
No, no, no.
you're younger than us, so it's like me and Frank are kind of feeling the pressure of father
Society.
time.
Father
Not
time.
not necessarily society, but well, for me, for sure, father time. I mean, when I was Frank's age, when I was 30, I was already sort of feeling it too. Like, I don't want to say society. Are we recording this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, are
I
we?
don't.
Shoot.
Yeah. I don't want to say I don't want to say society. I want to
hmm
say like just pressure on myself, because like I don't really give a shit about what society says. I give a shit about being able to provide for my future family. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
like
it's more like I should be. I wouldn't say. I don't want to sound self-depreciating, but like, is it like a mindset of I should be further ahead than this at this
a
point
little bit.
kind of thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. To be quite honest, I fucked around too much when I was your age. Even when I was Frank's age, I was, a little bit cognizant of the fact of I need to start doing something like more with my life, or I should be a little bit further along still, even when I was Frank's age. But by the time that I had realized that, I was kind of, you know, late to the party, I guess you could say. So I didn't start like really getting onto like the self-improvement um bandwagon until I was, about 35 years old probably. That's like real late. My wife like wants to have a kid within like the next like 1 to 2 years, and it's like I right now am in like the mindset of like I want to be able to give that to her. So for me, I need to like put my uh ability to earn into sort of hyperdrive. I need to like move, because I do want to be able to give her kids. I do want to have kids myself, but I also at the same time I don't want to have to like sacrifice being able to like do shit that I want to do or like buy shit that I want to buy, right? A little bit selfish, I guess, but you know, it's not, and it's not only for me. You know, I want to also be able to, you know, be able to buy my kids like not necessarily whatever they want, but you know, I at least want to be able to have the option to buy them anything that I feel like that they might need or deserve. You
Like
No,
know,
not
exactly,
have them
man.
not have them struggle. Essentially, like not
yeah, like I don't
have
want
them
to have
feel
the
like they're
feeling.
struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the. I don't ever want to have that feeling of like, man, he just did really good in school, and I wish I could like buy him like some fucking new shoes, but like I can't afford it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I don't want to ever be in that situation, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that's what I want to talk about with the podcast is like where like just trying to get ahead in life. You know, maybe I'm older than
I mean,
both of you guys.
I think like this is like the perfect like characters right here, like the perfect people because like I'm just starting my 20s. Frank's
Right.
uh, just about to start his 30s. You're
Yeah.
about to start you're starting your 40s. Like we're at different stages, so like we can bounce off of each other, you know, see
Yeah,
like
I think that definitely adds a interesting dynamic to the podcast because we can kind of always give um you know different opinions and point of views from essentially like three different generations
stages, yeah.
almost. I don't necessarily know if me and Frank are actually different generations, but I
Frank's
maybe
like in
different.
between.
Yeah, like maybe different demographics. Maybe is a better word.
I know
So
I'm definitely a millennial. If we're gonna talk about age, I
Yeah,
know.
you're definitely millennial.
All right.
I think
Matt
I'm the one that's the weird one. That's like in between a millennial and
and
whatever. Like
Gen
and
X.
yeah,
No.
and whatever
Yeah.
came. No,
Is it?
Gen
I feel like that's
Gen
baby
X
you.
boomers
and
were
then
before
no,
millennials, right?
it's baby boomer and then Gen X and then millennials.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right, I didn't even know that.
And
Yeah.
then Gen Z. I'm what do you call this? I'm Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids these days, what they call the kids these days, like Gen Alpha or something like that. I forgot.
Oh.
But yeah, it's kind of weird because like I'm at the tail end of like being millennial and like the early stages of Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the Philippines, you know, was a bit behind at the times per se. So like there's like millennial references that I'll be like, I get that, and then there'll be like Gen Z references. I'll be like, what the hell are they talking about? But yeah,
I think that's another beautiful thing about like our group is that we have a lot of experience in Western culture, and then you guys also have experience in culture that isn't Western. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
the
having
Asian
time
Definitely.
culture.
spent, yeah. Well, yeah, technically the Asian culture, like having time spent in an Asian country for some part of your life, and then coming to the U.S. and seeing what that's like, and
Oh
growing up
God,
in Western culture as well.
I kind of like purged like my early years here, like the adjustment period years. I kind
Mm.
of like purged that from my mind. So if we ever bring that up, like it's gonna take me a minute to remember things. Yeah,
But
we could talk about that too. Like just adjust like culture shock and like, you know, I don't want to sound like every minority like person of color streamer podcaster here, but you know, the diaspora or whatever they call the you know, that culture shock, whatever, you know. The immigrant story, there you go, the immigrant story. I don't you know.
no, man, I'd love to hear it. I think you should definitely share it because, like, for me, I have aunts and uncles, and even my parents. They are more or less refugees that came over
Mhm.
um, after the Vietnam War, and they were able to survive. I think that's a better word. Survive in a new country, not knowing the language, and even till this day, like their English isn't that great. Like they're still learning it. They're still learning it.
Yeah, well, I got like a leap ahead in terms of that just because I already knew the language when I got here. So, but yeah, yeah. But besides like what do you call this? You know, our personal stories. Any other general stuff that we plan on doing? We plan on talking about, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep stuff fun sometimes. Obviously, I don't want to always talk about like super serious shit. So like
Yeah.
whatever we can talk about like stuff that's like going on with like stuff in the media or like stuff on YouTube, like whatever's going on in the current times, whatever we find interesting or funny or fucked up or whatever. You know what I mean? Because there's always drama out there that we could talk about. I, uh, I I I feel like we're eventually going to talk about like economy and
Hmm.
politics, just because that affects us as adults for
Yeah.
sure. Like, you know how like especially like how shitty the housing market is right now, because that's like something that
Wait, Nate, you can
um
vote, right?
Nope. Not a citizen.
Yo,
Legal green. I'm applying for my citizenship like next month.
we can talk about that. Tell us the
Yeah.
process, man.
I
yeah,
don't know yet.
that's
I need to look up my research. I just know it'll cost like there's like a $750 fee for it.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, I'm doing it now while I can still remember my high school U.S. history education because I've looked at the questionnaires. It's essentially high school level U.S. government, U.S. history,
Yep, yep, yep.
which
So I've
yeah,
heard.
while I can still remember it, might as well do it now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, and
Yeah,
also with the political
yeah, exactly.
political winds right now, with the political winds right now, and how there's nuances in party leadership at the moment and government leadership at the moment. I'd rather do it now while it's still fairly safe, a fair guarantee that I can get citizenship than
yeah. Are
down
you
the
are
line.
you should be eligible already, right? Because it's only
Yeah,
like
yeah,
5 years that you have to be here or something like that.
yeah. I've been here for
Mm.
just about a decade at this point, so I'm
Oh,
definitely eligible. Plus, I want to get it going before I enter the military, just so if I think about
Oh,
staying, yeah.
let's talk about that. Why do you want to get into the military so bad?
Well, Plan A was actually the Naval Academy. Like this,
mm.
this whole chef culinary thing. This is Plan B.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Plan A was Plan A was the Naval Academy, but I kind of like messed up during high school. Just faffed around. So one, like I did not have the grades to be even considered for the academy,
Yeah.
and so after that I was like, well, I still want to try out the military, just because if what do you call this I'll get in one way or the other at this point. Like it's more of as a matter of like a self like a s- like a self-placed goal.
Yeah.
Like like I'm not gonna let a bit of high school mess about stop me. So
Hmm.
I'll get one way or the other. Two, no, there's every reason, every enlisted person's reasons. Travel around, benefits. Like I'll be blunt here. I'm not what do you call this? I'm not gonna pull on the airs of I'm doing this for my country kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the benefits. I'm doing it for
GI
just
Bill.
GI Bill, the experience. And I've talked to a couple of military buddies from different branches, and they essentially say the same thing. It was like, why'd you go to the military? Oh, I went for college. All that. So, but yeah, once I get this degree, you know,
Have you taken your ASVAB yet? Have
I've
you ever?
taken practice abs babs.
Okay.
I've
Did you
scored
score pretty high?
I've scored a 78. I don't know if that's pretty high or not.
I think that is pretty high. I think I scored like an 80 something. I can't remember for sure. But an 80 something, you can pretty much do whatever you
Yeah.
want. So
I
you're
I think
close
it's
to
Oh.
that.
funny enough. I like despite the stereotype, I barely held it together with the math portions of the ASVAB practice. Like any mathematical questions were like I was just like, I don't know.
Here's one piece of advice that I would give you.
Hmm.
Because I was in the army, I was in the military. When you take your ASVAB and then they give you like the list of like jobs that you can do, straight out ask your recruiter like which MOS is easiest to get promoted in. Because that was my problem when I was in the army, and that's why I like kind of was annoyed with being a medic. Was like, when I took my ASVAB, the recruiter was like, "Oh, you could be a medic. You scored high enough for medic. You should go medic. That's like a pretty chill job." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I go medic, and plus medic and like biology type, like physiology type stuff always kind of interested me anyways, right? So I was like, "Okay, I'll go medic." But then like once I was in the army, like you realize I've told Frank this story, I think
Yep.
outside of the gym one day, but once I was finally a medic, like it was like so hard to get promoted, dude. Like I was stuck at E4 for like forever because like actually I never even made it out of E4 because I like left before I could even try to get to E5. Like
Did
E
you?
E4 is a specialist in the army.
Yeah.
Like obviously if you're going Navy it's gonna be a little bit different, I think, but it's still like E1, 2, 3, 4, and then E5. E5 is gonna be like your sergeant. And like I was just trying to get the sergeant at least before like I got out, right? But it was like so hard because like what happens is like what on those like certain MOSs, like certain jobs, special career specializations in the army or military, people at the top they just like sit there and wait for 20 years to be over. So like you can't get promoted unless there's like slots to promote you into, and it's like based on like what the army feels like they need, right? Like they need like this many E5s or like they need this many like E6s. So they do it by promotion points. But like when there's like no available slots to like move up in the essentially the company that is the army, like the promotion points become like insanely high because they don't you just can't get promoted. So like because there's no slots to promote you and they don't want to move anybody up. So it's like you have to max out PT score. You have to max out um civilian education. You have to max out like literally every metric that they track for like promotion points, and it becomes annoying because like you'll have like I was in a unit that was air defense artillery, and like those ADA guys would get like promoted like after just like couple years or like their third year of being in the army they'd be at E5 making more money than me, and I'm like struggling trying to get promoted to E5, at like 4 years. I'm at like 4 years, and like I have like decent PT scores, I have like decent everything, right? And it's like, yeah, just annoying, just something to think about when you're choosing your MOS. Also, you got to also think about what jobs you can get with that MOS if ever you get out and you don't do 20 years and you go to civilian side, cuz like
Yeah, that's really my main reason why. Like, I know people like take college while in the military or after the military,
yeah.
but like I was like, well, at post-military life, what's gonna back me up? Does that make like you
Yeah.
start asking those questions on your resume as like, so the way I see it, I'm gonna try to get my college degree. That's why I'm also working while still in college just to pad up the resume. So that way post military life would be like I can at least say I can at least have something on my paper, just be like, hey, I worked XYZ before entering
Yeah,
service. So
no, that's a good plan. Cause like I was gonna say, like when I was a medic, it was like after I got out, like your choices are basically only EMT. And an EMT basic when I got out in like 2010 was making like $9 an hour or some shit like
yeah,
that.
even
What?
back then that
And
wasn't a
there was
lot.
yeah, and like not but I and like the guys that were in like ADA, air defense artillery, or even like the communications guys, the guys that would work on like the radios and stuff, they'd be making like 60 grand coming, or at least 60 grand, 70, 80. Some of like the super specialized guys would make like shitloads of money, like they'd go work at like Raytheon and shit, like straight out of the army. And I'm like, yeah, my choices are $9 an hour or I go back to college. So that's what I did. I went back to college for a little bit.
Yeah, my friend, he just got out of the Air Force. He got really lucky. He just
The moment you
had
said
a
Air
network.
Force, I didn't doubt he got out lucky.
No, like, well, I'm pretty sure he's on disability. He got out really
Mm.
lucky, and he was hitting me up because he wanted to pursue IT cybersecurity, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, these are certifications that you should consider. So that'd be like the A plus, the CompTIA A plus, or the CompTIA Security Plus. But I don't think he ever got around to doing that. But overall, what I'm trying to say is like in the military or in the Air Force, he was an Air Force or an airplane mechanic, so he was fixing the airplanes. But now, since he has a pretty good network, he is working for Collins Aerospace as like a systems engineer. And I say like that's pretty fucking lucky because like he didn't have any job lined up until like a couple weeks, maybe a month after getting out. And from what he told me, um, they were hiring him like not on the main contract, so they only needed like him for a couple months. But after that, they're like, all right, he's pretty useful, so we're gonna keep him around. But yeah, definitely have a plan C when you're done with the military and you become a civilian again.
Plan C is history major, so
Oh,
yeah. So if this culinary gig doesn't work out, and then I don't re-enlist, I highly doubt I'll re-enlist. But
Are you actually interested in history, or is that just your?
yeah, no. Besides, like, no history, like, preferably, like, what do you call this? Preferably like classical and like ancient history,
okay.
Okay.
like in the early dynasties of China, first civilizations, all along those lines,
Like the
like
Mayans too.
classical. Yeah, that
Nice.
like I actually like took like AP classes like back in high school, world your history, any history like high level history classes I took back in high school. So that was like one of the few things I didn't faff about. But
So
yeah,
what?
so
So like, what kind of careers would that get you into besides like a teacher? You know, is there like other careers?
uh, if you're really lucky, if I'm really lucky and I work really hard, maybe there's an inkling of a chance that I can be a professor out of college. Like a very tiny inkling of a detail. Realistically, it'll be just a teacher gig. Honestly,
Okay.
none of my career choices aims like has a lot of monetary benefits to it.
What about like museum
So
curator?
I I I'm,
That's what
I
uh
don't
that's
know.
what that's what Alyssa wanted to do. Yeah, right?
Oh
She wanted
Who?
yes.
to she wanted to set up like the exhibits for museums and stuff. That's why she wanted to become a
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was also a history major as well.
anthropologist.
Oh, anthropologist. Right, 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 right.
So I'm trying to remember. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man,
dope.
that's your girl, dude. You don't remember?
I I kind of like wiped her off my memory too. So
Oh, goodness gracious.
if things don't work out for me, I usually just like kind of like wipe it from my head.
Didn't
So
happen.
exactly. That's how you get over breakups. You don't process it and heal. No, no, no. You just forget about it.
I
Whoa, are
like
we
that.
calling that a that's what we're calling a breakup now?
What?
You and Alyssa, you guys broke up?
What? We were never together.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify. Okay.
No, I wish, but nah, nah. But yeah.
Hey,
So besides what do you call this? Besides career stuff, I think we mentioned that we were planning on like kind of like the whole reason like we did the hit or miss title is like we were gonna track out our progress in this podcast. Like the podcast in of itself is an experiment. See, what works, what doesn't, when it comes to
Hmm. Yeah.
making a successful podcast. So
yeah.
what do you call it?
Yeah, like this whole fucking thing is gonna be an experiment. Like
Hmm.
shit. I don't know if people are gonna want to watch us, to be
Yeah.
honest. I hope so. Like my theory is this, right? Like me and Frank were talking about it also at the gym the other day. And I was just like, I like these topics, you like these topics. So as long as there's like a bunch of other people that like these topics and want to like just chill and listen to these kind of discussions, um and kind of maybe help to improve their mindset at some point, they can just discuss it with us and chill here with us, like because like I know that for the longest time, like my friends, they don't talk about shit like this, you know what I mean? And like it was always just me listening to YouTube and podcasts and audiobooks to 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 sort of satisfy my curiosity towards like these sort of subjects. So if we can be like you know or beneficial to the viewers or listeners, to be able to like maybe hear about like a new idea that like one of us had read in a book or seen in a YouTube or seen in a podcast or heard in a podcast, whatever, then yeah,
See if it
maybe
works
that'll
out.
be some value, because like I'm constantly consuming stuff on YouTube, just social media and also audiobooks, constantly consuming things and sharing those ideas that I think are like good with you guys and maybe good for other people as well. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
that's a
mean,
good segue that we should get into. We should try to recap what we were talking about last week, just to reiterate to our audience like what this podcast, what hit or miss is to us, right? So, with that being said, what did we talk about last week? Oh yeah,
we did.
how to start a podcast, like like
Yeah.
what it takes to start a podcast. So we have a couple of topics that we want to talk about, like you were saying, self-help, that's a good one, and then after that,
Uh, we
economics,
were talking.
politics.
Yeah. But besides that, like this podcast itself, like what equipment we use,
Oh yes, yes,
what we
yes.
do to prepare beforehand. And the reason I bring that up is because like what do you call this? I'm gonna show you an example of how a janky setup on a podcast should be like right about now. This is my webcam right now. It's basically the tripod just hanging off the monitor, and it's literally connected to a like literally just oh, but never
Why
mind.
do you have it like that?
It's
Why don't they
literally
just have
just
it hanging on the monitor?
yeah, like it's not like I don't even have a proper stand, and it's like oops,
No, it's
it's
supposed to
still
clip on
looking
the monitor.
yeah, but mine's like a like essentially borderless. Like my
Oh,
monitor
I
is essentially
see.
borderless,
It's
so
not
there's
that thick.
no
Yeah.
yeah, just there's like a millimeter of plastic to clip on. But yeah, no, the reason I bring this up is like, I mean, as far as you guys are concerned, like camera position and camera lighting wise, like it's pretty okay on my end, right?
Yeah. No, yeah.
oh yeah, your
Yeah.
camera looks good.
The reason I bring this up is like to people starting a podcast, like thinking, oh, I need a ring light, I need all this equipment. I mean, don't get me wrong, that certainly helps, but like, what do you call this? Like, what do you call this? Just because you don't have those doesn't mean you can't start a podcast.
No, yeah, exactly.
Look at my stuff. Like, mine's like fucking jank. Mine's so janky that I don't even have a clip for the camera. I just literally mounted the tripod on top of it, and it's working for me. And
Yeah,
what the webcam's like, what, $50? Yeah, $50.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I'm using my headset mic. Like, you don't have to have a fucking $2,000 worth of equipment to start a podcast. You can just
Nah,
get your webcam going, start from there, and then if people are interested, what do you call it? Certainly having like a good setup helps, but it's more the soft side, the the way we bounce around each other, what we talk about, you know.
exactly. That's the good point. That's like an excellent point. It's like, yeah, you don't the entry of cost to making a podcast shouldn't be that high. I mean,
Yeah.
like the webcams that we all have should be affordable, under $100. The mics that we have just to be our headset, as long as there's clear enough audio, it's great. But again, I think what you're trying to get at is just like the meat and potatoes of the podcast, which is the content we talk about. Like, that's what should drive the podcast, and that's what will keep or entertain our audience to come back to listen to us and or watch us again, depending on which platform they're on. But yes, overall, that's the idea of the Hit or Miss podcast. It is an experiment. We're trying to figure out how to run a podcast, and then we also have to get over the hurdle of social media and leverage and learn how to
Yeah.
leverage social media so we can advertise ourselves, grab the audience's attention, and then bring them back to our full YouTube content, and then rinse and repeat, and then see how long we can go with it.
And yeah, let's be real here. Like, when you guys listen to podcasts, do you actually sit down and watch, or like do nothing when you're listening? No, you're out and about, you're working in the kitchen, you're typing something on a computer. Like, it's always in the background.
Yeah, essentially
So
background noise. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and I don't want to say background noise because like that kind of downplays what we're doing, but like what I mean is, like, essentially, like, don't be so caught up on, oh, what do you call this? Do I need like a DSLR camera, to make a podcast good? Do I need a ring light? Do I need like a green screen in the background? No, because like at the end of the day, like, having visuals help, but a podcast is essentially modern day radio, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
I like
something
that.
you tune
I
into
like
the
that a lot.
background while you do stuff. You listen something to listen to while you're in the train or the car. So for people out there who want to start a podcast, I mean, just I don't want to
Train.
I don't, yeah, just
People even
go,
use
just start.
trains in America.
I think that's the beauty.
Even,
Go ahead, Matt.
Well,
I was just making a joke of, do people even use trains in America? I
why
guess
limit ourselves to America though? Like, there's 8 billion people in the world. There's
yeah, okay, fair
you
point.
dream big. Dream big from this.
Fair point. Fair point.
But yeah, but besides hardware, any other things that you think are essential for starting a podcast?
I think what we're lacking right now is a little bit of research. I feel like we
Mhm.
need to do a little bit more research on what we want to talk about per episode. Like, yeah, this is technically our first real episode. Hopefully, it fucking records, unlike the last episode.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I think we need to do. I think there's a little bit more offline work that we need to realize that we need to do. depending on which topics we talk about, right? So I mean, I feel like that's actually technically every single topic. So for example, if we're talking about like mainstream media, right? Maybe I for one don't really entertain myself with mainstream media, right? But for example, what was that like submarine that went to go see the Titanic and then it fucking exploded? Like I was
Oh,
not informed about that until it already happened. I was like, what is everyone talking about? And then I went out and like looked it up and was like, oh, okay, I see. And then on top of that, I just had my girlfriend tell me what happened, and it's pretty tragic on how it happened and like who was
yeah.
in the expedition. But overall, like
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you
I
have
think
to. Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
What do you call this? Um, like speaking of research
Mm-hmm.
and like just finding things out. I think that's something we could talk about like with like essentially three different, I would say generations, but like with three different stages in life, the way we get our news is
Oh.
fairly different.
Oh yeah.
Like I get my news from memes. Like I won't find out someone died or something happened till like I see people making a meme about it, and
Yeah.
then I look up the actual news article.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Ocean Gate, I didn't know Ocean Gate was a
Yeah.
thing till
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
submarine was, till I saw memes of it.
Yes.
And maybe Frank, I don't know, like with you, it's kind of hard because like you're in the middle ground. With Matt, uh, to even about the Ocean Gate incident, right? The one with the submarine.
I heard about it for like a second in passing, but
But yeah, like how did you acquire that information? Like
I don't
Twitter or
even remember.
remember?
I
Mm.
don't even remember. It was
But
probably
like in general, when you find out about things, do you usually find that out through the news, through social media?
it's gonna be through social media,
Yeah, yeah,
randomly somebody posting probably something on Facebook because like
Mm.
when I'm like searching YouTube or Google, it's never about news at all. I
yeah,
don't give a
yeah.
shit.
Facebook, there you go. Like I don't touch Facebook. The only
Yeah.
reason I
Same.
touch Facebook is to what do you call this? To keep track with my relatives, like
Mm.
back in the
Yeah,
Philippines, or like my older grandparents.
pretty much.
It's like,
That's all I use it for.
but yeah, exactly. Like we do. Like we go through like at different stages of like we go through like different mediums in ways like we look at the world kind of stuff, which is something we can talk about too. Like as each decade goes, how does like as each decade goes, like how does one's view of the world changes essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be a topic, right? Shit, that could be a topic right there. You got that written down?
Yes. I'm taking
Yeah,
all the notes right now.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hey, you, man, what do you think? Like,
Um, I actually like um listened to an audiobook recently. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the compound effect, and he talked
hmm
about like how I'm not sure. All right, don't quote me on this, but he was like saying something about how listening to the news like doesn't really affect you personally at all, like 99.9% of the time. So it's basically just a waste of time.
hmm
Like unless you're like listening to the news about like stock market stuff that might like infect that might like have an effect on how you would invest into certain things,
Mm-hmm.
housing
or
market, real estate, whatever, like that kind of stuff. But like listening to like the doomsday news of like this guy got shot over here and this guy got murdered over here and this guy cheated on his girlfriend and celebrities are banging everyone and their mom, like it, like that shit like doesn't fucking affect you at all. So like why even waste a single second in your day,
No
like
facts.
even like worrying about it or even being interested in it? Like you should
yeah,
just, if you're like trying to min max your life, you should just cut that shit out, and like you should be like researching something that is going to help you level up somehow, or
Mm-hmm.
you should be in the gym or something, or you should, be, trying to do
im-
something
better
and
yourself. Yeah,
improve your career or something, you know what I mean?
yeah. I
So
mean,
like honestly, that's how I've been for the
Mhm.
past 3 years. Like I told Frank, like I don't sit down and like listen to music, even though I like to sing a lot and I feel like I love music. Like it gives me like,
Wait, who does that these days? Though, actually sitting down and listening to music.
well, like I'm talking about even in the car,
Oh,
or
okay.
or even on my run, even in the gym. If I'm like working out by myself, I don't listen to music. I listen to literally strictly podcasts and audiobooks.
Oh, I can't do that. I don't have that kind of like focus to be like multi like tasking, like listening to a like working out and then like listening to a podcast at the same time because like I'll be like, wait, what did that guy say? And then you gotta rewind everything and like I don't have the attention span to be able to do that. Funny
Oh,
enough.
Mm.
well, but yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I don't.
Yeah, good on you.
I'm not saying music is a waste of time, but like I am at the point of urgency in my life where I feel like um even one idea can change my life and change the way that I move and change the way that I make decisions and think about things. So like that's why I'm trying to consume as much of that as possible through like every single minute and every single day.
I mean, yeah, it only takes one idea. Shit. Like this whole podcast, this is one idea and look where we're at right now, you know.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I haven't even like the thought of starting a podcast was never in my head.
Yeah, me
But
and Frank, I think I told Frank this the other day. Alex Hormozy said like if there's even a single if there's like a book that even slightly interests you or
Oh
even
yeah.
slightly looks interesting to you, that you should just buy it, because even if it's like 10, 15, $20, whatever the case may be, if you even get one idea from that book, it could possibly change your life for the better forever, and that's going to be worth the money every single time. Like it doesn't matter if you like, even if it's like takes you 20 books, what is that? 20 times 200, that's, or 20 times, I'm
And
fucking terrible at mental
20
math.
times 10
Yeah,
is
uh,
200.
20 times $200. Even if it takes you $200 to get one idea, I mean, that could change your mindset from being, a brokey to being a fucking millionaire. That one
yeah.
idea.
No,
You know what I mean?
100%.
So
That's so true. It's
And
like
what do you
just
call this?
college textbooks. Like college textbooks
Mhm.
cost a fuck ton of money, and like sometimes there's no way a student is going through the entire college textbook at all. Like I've
Oh
had
yeah,
more
no.
than enough college
Professors
experience.
barely have
It's
you
like
use the
you're
college
not
textbook.
going through that entire textbook. It's like there's literally just one chapter, and within one chapter there's this one section that will just answer all of your desires or burning questions, I should say. And like that will just level you up to like another understanding, like for example just like math and or just science
Yeah.
overall as well. But
I mean, but it's not just about the idea. Like you don't like just because you have an engine doesn't mean you can drive a car. Like it's got to have fuel in it. So like what do you call this? Besides having that idea, you have to have like the how do I put this? The
the means
drive, like
to
the
execute.
passion,
ambition.
ambition. There you go, ambition to like get that idea going.
Mm,
Like I'm sure before I don't know before Amazon was the big thing, before Bezos was the billionaire. I'm
yeah.
sure there were plenty of other people who'd had either the who's had the idea of what he's doing now, but through a lot of luck and through to sheer drive and maybe even a bit of a moral gray zones here and there. Fucking Bezos is where he is right now. Like, it no, it's like besides having an idea, you gotta have like the drive and the ambition to pursue that idea.
Oh yeah, because that's why we're here. This is literally the Hit and Miss
Yeah.
podcast. This was an idea, And now we're doing
And
it.
we're
We're
pursuing
taking,
it.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
taking the action. We're taking one small step at a time. And like, and that's the beauty of it. I feel like not a lot of people are willing to sit down with themselves and be like, hey, I have this idea. How do I get from where I am to where I want to be? And then you have to really sit down and think, be within your thoughts, and set small incremental goals to reach that one big goal. Because these small incremental goals, that's the progress. And if you don't see progress, I feel like a lot of people are just like, all right, it's not working. I just give up. Right.
Yeah, and I think that actually bounces back very well on, the like this podcast itself. I think some people are like, looking at well-established podcasts like Joe Rogan or I don't know,
Call her daddy.
Bits podcast, Caller Daddy, like those channels, like what do you call it? It's like people look at those channels and be like, oh, well, I'm never gonna be there, so I'm just not gonna do it. But here's the thing, like you don't have to be at their level. Like they're like they're the top 1% for a reason. Not everyone can be the top 1%. Like that's not how it works. But like if you get yourself pretty high up there, maybe not exactly to their level, but like close, like you can consider yourself pretty successful at this. And you think Joe Rogan like just started a podcast one day and became instantly famous?
No,
Like no,
No.
he said it before. It took him like 5+ years to actually like be successful at the podcast thing. Like he didn't even used to care if it was going to be successful or not. It was just something that he enjoyed doing, and he just enjoyed like talking to his friends and shit like that. And then
but yeah,
it just blew up all of a sudden.
like I said, that's where the drive comes from. Like he
Mm.
he did it as a passion project, and through luck and through what it goes through sheer drive,
Determination
he
as
got
well.
where he is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna preach that, I'm not gonna preach like, oh, you can do anything as you put your heart into it, because that's not really that's not how real life works. Like that plays a huge part in it, but like at the end of the day, it sometimes just comes down to luck. But you'll never know
But
that
you
till
can
in
make your own
hindsight,
luck. You have to make
Exactly.
your own luck.
Plus,
I don't
you can
want to
never
say
know
it's
that in
all luck.
hindsight.
I want to say it's like, yeah, luck does play a part in certain instances, but it's more about like perseverance and
Yeah.
determination.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you're gonna fail always along the way. You're always gonna eat shit at some point, and it's like whether or not you can just be like and it be resilient and like learn from those mistakes and get better from those mistakes and just keep on going towards your goal. That's what's gonna like really, get you to where you
But
want to
yeah,
be.
luck is just a supplement. Is what I'm trying to say. Like that's not what gets you there, because like if you don't start in the first place, how can you get lucky?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
another thing I want to say is like I'm glad that we finally just actually did it, because a lot of people I think always have the idea, but then they always think like they need to be perfect before they start. And I think it's also Alex Hormozy that says something like this, like you can never be perfect before you start, otherwise
Exactly.
you could just be guaranteed success in whatever you're doing if you're already perfect. Like that's kind of stupid, right? Like you have to just dive into it and like learn along the way, because there's gonna be problems along the way that you're not gonna be, you know, clairvoyant enough to like realize like, oh, this is gonna happen in the future. I need to be ready for this problem even before I start. Like, no, that's not really like how it works, right? Like you just do the thing, you find the problem, and then you solve the problem. You know,
Yeah.
so
No, I'm really glad that we're being like extremely realistic with our podcasts and with our audience. It's like, take the first step, do it, try it out, make sure
Yeah.
that you have the bare minimum. That's what we're doing. We're doing it with the bare minimum, and we have goals in between our major goal, and then we're trying to figure out, and we're also accepting the fact that we will make mistakes along the way, However, like these mistakes will help us grow in the long run.
Yeah, no, like I mean, I don't. Yeah, like let's not be that channel out there who just goes like, like those motivational channels that just say platitudes but really don't amount to anything.
That's fair.
Like we're better than that. Like we're like like we're we're ambitious, but we're also grounded.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yes, ambitious but grounded.
Because like
Yeah.
sometimes people mistake delusion for ambition.
Hmm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What do you think? What do you guys think?
I mean, we're.
Mistake
Go ahead, man.
mistake delusion for ambition. Can we sort of define the difference between the two in your eyes, Nate? Can you clarify that
Because
statement a little bit?
how do you call it? Like you need to have like I don't want to sound pessimistic here, but you need to have a sense of realism on like what do you call this? On like your goals. Like I can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to Mars in like 5 years." Like
But
they
that's
like that's
literally Elon Musk's
yeah,
delusion
but
right
here's the
now. So
yeah,
to
no,
you
but
it's
What?
delusional, but to him,
exactly,
but
exactly. That's the
No,
point.
it's not.
That's my point. You gotta know where your place is at the moment when you when you put your goals together. Like
see that's why I think that's interesting because like literally all like the biggest dreamers were probably at one point considered like delusional, right?
I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
what do you call this? Is I'm trying to find
Like
it
the
in words.
people that
They
the
figured
people
out.
the people that invented
Mhm.
flying an aeroplane, like the the like physics of it, the Wright brothers, like they were
Yeah,
like legit considered delusional for like years, and no one ever thought that they were going to be able to figure it out
yeah,
until
but
until they finally just did.
that's the thing. They like what do you call this? They did like they
But I wouldn't say that's
what do you call
delusional
this?
though, because they have.
They had the plan. They had steps. They had processes that
Yeah,
got
exactly.
them to that.
I
What I'm
don't know if they
talking
were
about is
engineers or
like
not, but like they figured it out. I mean, if
yeah, they
I
owned
feel
a
like.
bicycle shop. That's how
And
that's
they
how they
were
had access.
willing
Yeah,
to persevere throughout all the
but
failed experiments, like hundreds and thousands of failed.
here you go. Here you go. You gotta have a plan. Like the difference between like being delusional and being like
Ambitious.
ambitious is you have a plan. With the like if you're being delusional, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Okay,
No
how are you
plan.
gonna achieve that? What's your
Yeah.
plan? What's your steps? What's your process? And if you just say it's just gonna happen, God will figure it out for me. Like that's that's just
Okay,
you.
I can agree with that.
That's just you having wishful thinking. Like if you're
Hmm.
ambitious, you'll be like, okay, um, here let's put the Mars thing back into question. Well, we'd be like, okay, for me to get to Mars realistically, I need to either work in government, be an astronaut in the government, or start my own space company. Well, how am I gonna start my space company? I need to have a lot of money. How am I getting a lot of money? Like there's like you plan out the steps like bit by bit
Hmm.
instead of just being like,
It's gonna happen.
okay, yeah, it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
whatever, it's just gonna happen, well, God will guide me, like, and not to bash our religious viewers, but like you you have you have free will for a reason. It's so you don't just like you just don't like throw your hands in the air and be like, oh, things will happen. Which that's what I think is what separates like ambition from like delusion is like a sense like a plan and like a sense of like realism of like how honestly like on to yourself, how much do you believe yourself that this is feasible?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's
I
really what it is. Like
No,
That's
I
why
think
I
that's
hate like
great.
that's yeah.
I think to summarize
That's
that,
why
I
I
feel
don't
like the
like
goal shouldn't be something like Mars, but like something as simple
yeah.
as either join the military or going off to college, right? In college,
And
like
then
I
you
feel like
start
a
from
lot of
there.
students don't
Yeah.
realize you have to make a couple of life
Yeah,
sacrifices. Like
it's
if you want to
you
graduate
don't
as a
yeah.
doctor, you can't just be going out and partying. You have to stay indoors and study, and then you can't
You
be
can't just
coming
like
home.
teleport to the finish line. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
Like you gotta have to go through a couple checkpoints in life. I mean, I was about to go pass it to Matt. Like, I mean, look at Matt, like how you got here. Like, you had to experience a couple things, you know.
Yeah, I've been through some shit. I'm the oldest one, so
Yeah.
uh, a lot of the a lot of the journey was, difficult. I had some rocky times, especially like during COVID. But like just I truly believe that me having like a positive mindset and really like focusing 100% on moving forward with my career and um really really just the mindset. Having that mindset is what allowed me to bounce back the way that I have. Like, I mean, I was literally fucking broke last year, like literally had zero money. Um and I was able to come back to the United States. I worked as a line cook for fucking 6 months, and now I'm head chef
But yeah,
at
like
so
see how
like
like you kind of plant like
yeah,
I don't
and
know if
I
you 100%
literally
planned that out, but
no, I literally planned this out. I literally
yeah,
planned this out. We'll talk about that. I when I when that that line cook job that I had, this was not just like any line cook job. Like I planned this out before I even got here. Like when I get to the United States, I am going to work for a Michelin starred chef.
Hmm.
Like that was for sure my plan. Like when I first got here, I only applied to the Michelin star restaurants
yeah, but
because I was like, I'm going to throw myself into the fire. I'm going to go into the most difficult situation that I can go into, where I am going to have the biggest opportunity to learn the skill set that I need for my profession under the best chef that I could possibly learn from. And it fucking worked, dude.
yeah,
Like
be successful or die trying, you know.
yeah, like I worked for Chef Pepe at Jiwa. He's the owner of Cranes, which is a
Mhm.
Michelin star restaurant in DC. Jiwa does not yet have their Michelin star, but I do believe that they are deserving of one. I do believe that eventually they will get one. But me working in that super stressful, super high volume situation also helped to boost my own confidence because after I had been done with that situation and being a line cook with, serving 300, 400 people a day for like literally 6 months straight, where the food has to be perfect. Like they'll they'll kick back shit for like the littlest thing and be like, Matt, you need to do better. Like Chef Matt, this needs to be creamier. This needs to be a different consistency, whatever the case may be. Like they would literally like I literally cried at that job. I literally was crying one day at that job. I had to go to the back where the hallway is, like the back entrance to the restaurant, and I was like crying because I fucking was getting demolished on the line. Like shit was being like it was not up to standard. I was not cooking it fast enough. I was um because we use toast at the restaurant we use right now, right? And I was not familiar with that system yet.
Mhm.
So like I was like, you know, when it's like the board is completely full and
Mhm.
I thought that I had cooked everything already that was like on the left side and I like missed one and it's like a chicken satay and like it takes like fucking 12 minutes to cook a chicken satay but I missed it so it's already been 6 minutes So now it's gonna be like 18 minutes before it gets out.
Right.
Like, yeah, you get yelled at for shit like that. So, um, I got yelled at a lot at that job. But it was a an eye opener because like you see like the kind of standard that they actually have at that high end of a restaurant, and it made me confident in the fact that I could go to like pretty much any place and like be able to at least hang. I'm not saying be the best there, but at least be able to be confident in my skill set like no matter where I go, right? So I think that's why that situation and me planning that out for myself was crucial in my development and was crucial in me having the confidence to be able to go into this head chef job at Los, or I don't even know if I should say that this one where we work currently.
Yeah,
on,
I'd rather
on
not DDoS ourselves.
yeah, exactly. So uh that was crucial when I went into this interview because I was like literally 100% confident when I went into the interview. Like anxiety, yeah, of course, because like it was a big deal for me, whether or not I was gonna get my first ever like lead position, being in charge of my own kitchen. But definitely it meant the world to me to have that experience from my last job. Uh, so shout out to Chef Pepe, you know, uh, also Chef Clay. I consider them to be my mentors.
Was
Even though
Chef
I
Clay
wasn't
your sous chef or well?
Chef Clay was our sous chef, yeah. So, I learned so much from those guys, and it helped me to be where I'm at today. But yeah, like back to your point, it was because I literally planned these steps for my life. Like I was like, I'm gonna go work in a Michelin star restaurant. I'm gonna become the best chef that I can be. I'm gonna throw myself to the fire, and it's either I'm gonna fucking crash and burn or I'm gonna come out like a badass chef, right? And then
Reborn like a phoenix.
yeah, so that's where I'm at now. Uh, I didn't think it was gonna come that fast. I didn't think I was gonna be able to be line cook for only 6 months and then um get the head chef position so quickly. I really didn't. I thought it was gonna take me 2-3 years of working as a line cook and then working my way up in the Michelin star setting, right? Before I was able to like land an opportunity like this. But once I did see the post on Indeed, I was like, I think I have to try to get this job because it was like, for me, it was like, you know, checked off a lot of boxes. Like it's the cuisine that I grew up with. Um, it's also a lot more money than I was making at at Jiwa. So I did not necessarily want to leave Jiwa because I was pretty happy there, but at the same time, the money was just a little bit too much for me to pass up. And uh, being completely transparent, being able to put head chef on my resume is also a big deal, right? So, as far as like progressing my career forward in any other possible places that I might move to in the future. So, it was literally all planning. Like literally all me cognizantly planning my career step by step. And
But
like
yeah,
I had never thought about it when I was your age. I never thought about it when I was Frank's age. At Frank's age, I was only like really concerned about getting into culinary school, and that was like my only plan at the time. So, but yeah, after I knew that I was coming back to the States, all planning.
but yeah, like yeah, what do you call this? Like that, like perfect case in point because like when you were broke, you didn't just go like, oh, I'll become head chef, and then just leave it at that. Like you had a process going on,
Yeah.
and
And even
you know,
and even then, like I was stuck in the Philippines. Me and my wife were saving for me to be able to come back to the United States. And even then it was planning, because I was like, I'm going to cut out music. I'm going to cut out video games as much as possible. And I'm going to like listen to only podcasts and listen to only self-improvement stuff and listen to only audiobooks. And I'm going to go to the gym. I went to the gym consistently for the whole year last year. Didn't skip a week at all last year. Consistently 4 to 5 times a week. And I was like, because when I get to the United States, I don't want anybody to ever judge me because I'm fat or out of shape. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to ever be like something that like removes me from contention of any given position, right? So like, I'm not saying like shame fat people or fat people suck or whatever, but if we're being completely realistic, when people see you for an interview, they are automatically judging you for your appearance.
Yeah, like
You know what I
maybe it's
mean?
not even maybe it's even a subconscious thing, but
It's not, yeah, it's definitely subconscious for sure, at least subconscious. Sometimes they'll even do it like consciously. Sometimes I truly believe that there's employers out there that are like, oh, this dude's fat, he's probably lazy, I'm not gonna hire him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
There's got to be people like that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
So like I'm not like that. Like when I'm hiring people, I don't see it that way. I try to go by personality, but um like there's got to be some people like that. And yeah, I just didn't want to ever have to even think about that. So I was like, I'm going to get as fit as possible before I come back. And I honestly don't think I would have got hired at this job if I wasn't like presentable looking as a head chef. Just because it's like open kitchen setting, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And like if I wasn't like presentable to be like the leader of the kitchen, I think that would have negatively affected me
Yeah,
for my
because with an
interview.
with an open kitchen, you do have like an image to you need, what do you call this? Like in the back of the kitchen, I know some kitchens that just like let the kitchen staff work in like their most comfortable clothes. But like with
Yeah.
an open kitchen, you got an image to present. Everyone's got to be in a uniform.
Yeah, you
Everyone's
got to
got to
be
be well
clean,
kept.
you got to be hygienic looking.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like that all comes down to like your physical appearance. Like I think about it this way sometimes. I think about it like this, like, would you be surprised if you went to like a big job interview and then um you didn't get the job because you were wearing basketball shorts and a tank top?
no,
No.
no.
So appearance matters,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like
Like that's why I just want to say, like, some people are like, "Oh, appearance shouldn't matter. It should be down to your resume and down to your qualifications and blah
it
blah blah blah
shouldn't,
blah."
but
But
that's just
you
not how
you
it
could
is.
yeah, you could be fucking, you know, cum laude at your fucking college, but you show up in flip flops, basketball shorts, and a tank top to your fucking Fortune 500 interview, and they're gonna be like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, you should be presentable at all times. So that shit does matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, piggybacking off of that, like even like right now, like in our setups, I know we said bare. I know we were talking about just the bare minimum, but I'm sure like all three of us did a bit of a cleaning up in the rooms that we're videoing at. Like at least put some stuff away.
Yeah,
Maybe
I had
you
to
know
get my blow up doll. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Get it out of the picture.
I had to put my anime body pillow underneath the bed, so
Damn. Okay, guys.
If Frank's had to like put away his stack of Playboy magazines in the
No, man, my
in the
collection of
closet.
flashlights are like all the way back here. You
Yeah.
guys just can't see it.
Okay, okay. Is that how you angle the camera so it doesn't?
Yeah, yeah. yeah. I have a huge collection. All right, you just
A
can't see
huge collection. Something to be proud of.
it.
But yeah, no, like like even though as much as people don't want to be like, oh, appearance doesn't matter, you should just be you, all that. I mean, come on, come on. In a subconscious level, we still think that.
I feel like to add to that,
So
it's like everyone should strive to be the best version of themselves.
exactly, yeah,
Because once you achieve that level of the best version of yourselves, one, I feel like you're just overwhelmingly way more confident, right? You will carry that confidence through your entire life, not just an interview, but an interview would be a good example. But like you'll be able to nail the interview, you can speak your truth, and you don't have to be ashamed of not knowing what you don't know. You're okay with what you do know, and if you're lacking in knowledge, you can confidently say like, I don't have that set of skills or aren't knowledgeable in that area. However, I have the ability to learn what I don't know, and striving the best version of yourself should look
uh,
something like that. And on top of that, I feel like once you have strive to be the best version of yourself, then you will also seek to find other people who are in that same area,
yeah.
who are either working to be better, or you can help people get to a better version of themselves. And if society worked in that way, I think we would be better off. And I feel like that's another reason why we have this Hit or Mitt podcast, because it's like we want to be able to help each other. That's why we have this team that we've put together to do a podcast. Because like,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
the
that's what
trio,
that's
yeah.
what life is, kind of, right? Like you can go on a solo journey, but solo journey, from what my own experience, can only get you so far, right? You have to build out a network. You have to build out a small
All
team,
about connections.
and hopefully your views and ambitions align, where you guys can work together, communicate, be on the same page, and work together to achieve a certain goal.
Andy Elliott said, "A single person can be beaten, but a team cannot be beaten."
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
no,
that.
that's simple, yet like like kind of like, oh, how come we didn't think of that kind of thing. And yeah, that's why this is like three of us doing a podcast, not just like
Hmm.
not just each of us doing our own individual ones. So,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
don't
yeah,
a good
think I'd
point.
be able to do an individual podcast. I think I'm too like all over the place. I like the dynamic of you guys like keeping me focused.
keeping focus, yeah.
Yeah.
No, like for me to do an individual podcast, it's got to be like a story podcast, something like more like an like a story of the day, story of the week kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like just because like I honestly like when you're on your own, how do you talk about stuff if like you're essentially talking to yourself, you know?
You're basically just a streamer at that point, and you're
Yeah, no, even streamers get interactions from their chat. Like as a
that is
Oh,
podcast, you're only recording yourself and then be like, well,
it's heavily scripted for
well,
sure.
yeah, we'll see what happens from here, those kind of things.
I
But
do
yeah,
want to take live. I do want to do like a live at some point and like take like comments and questions from viewers on YouTube and see how that goes. I think that would be fun.
I think that's how we should try to leverage Twitter. It's like we can shoot out a question, like, I don't know, for example, what do we talk about? Fine, who pays on the date? We can shoot out that question on Twitter, and then we can like poll it, figure out what the consensus is once we have a following. Or it could be another question like, let's see, what's the best bicep workout? Something like that.
or yeah,
Um,
yeah, or I don't know.
let's see.
Should you buy a BMW as your first car?
No, you should
And
definitely
speaking from experience, no, definitely not. Or you know,
too
oh,
unreliable, too
oh,
much
yeah,
maintenance costs. Even me, I make all right money, and I still know that I should not buy a luxury car. Like I'm probably gonna have. I really, really, really want to. I really want to buy like a Mercedes or an Acura or a Lexus, but like I know in my brain that the smart thing would be to just buy a fucking Honda or a Toyota just for like reliability, but
yeah, like
we'll see if I have the self-discipline to not buy a Lexus.
I believe in you. Stay strong. You don't
I
need it.
mean,
Save that
I
money.
always
Buy a
like,
Bugatti.
what color is your Bugatti? Yeah, yeah, save up till you can afford to say, you can say that question. You know, you can ask that question.
And then
But
maybe I can drive around with Andrew Tate and his Bugatti. Bugatti.
but yeah, no, like what do you call it? It's like I got like, I'm not gonna say the specific amount, but like let's say 4 figures worth of what do you call this, emergency funds just for the car, because I know damn well it's gonna
Mm.
break at any time. Like
Yeah,
that's just for the
that's
car itself. That's not for anything else. That's just for the car when something happens, which it will.
that's actually step one in the finance guys
Budgeting.
budgeting thing that they teach. Like the very first step is like first save up $1,000 for like any
What?
possible emergency that
Yeah.
might have in your life. That's like step number one. And then like step number two is like I think then save up like 6 months worth of bills.
Living
Like
expenses.
living expenses. Yeah, all your living expenses, rent, food, everything, right? So
Dude, I shit you not, guys. Like after being laid off, that's literally what's been carrying me. Like I didn't even know I had that, but like, goddamn, it's definitely necessary. Definitely do it. It will put your mind at ease having that much money saved up. It is so important because I didn't expect to be out of a job for this long, but like oof, without it, wouldn't be good. Save.
that's where I'm trying to get to right now. I'm trying to get to that saving up 6 months worth of living expenses. I have not gotten there yet, but that's my next goal.
I'm trying to dig myself out of the credit hold debt right now. So there's that. So I'm not really saving up or anything, but I'm at least like paying off like most of my debts.
Yeah.
But
That actually
honest,
might be
yeah,
step one. I can't remember to be honest, but it's like that's part of it as well. It's like paying off all your credit card debt because
but yeah,
that interest is killing you, bro. Whatever, if you
honest,
have credit card debts, that
Mm.
interest is killing you. Even if it's only 20%, 20%. If you like, if you take like 5 years to pay off like $1,000, like it's still you're probably playing close to like double that amount. You're probably paying like
yeah.
another $1,000 just in interest. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
honestly, the rainy day car fund, that if I really wanted to, I could just use that to pay off all to like clear out all my credit card debt.
I don't think you should do
But
that
yeah, yeah, but
because
knowing,
your car is like essential to your working and
yeah,
being able to make money. So I don't think you should do that.
and I
If you
swear that
had
car, yeah. I'm sorry, God.
if you had money like from like for other things saved
Mm-hmm.
up, then yeah, you could do that. But I
Yeah,
think your car is like very essential. So
and yeah, and I swear to God, I know that I know the car knows when I have money, because like when I'm finally saving up, that's when it decides to be like, whoops, something broke. So all that saved up money goes to
how much do you think you've spent in maintenance and repairs on that car in the past like year or like on average every year that you've owned it, if you can think back that far?
had
Do
to
you keep
replace the
track do you keep
yeah,
track of it like that?
I had to replace the transmission. That was 3 grand. I had to replace the wastegate turbo. That was $400. get
Yeah.
spark plugs done. That was 300.
That was
Let's
like close to
see.
like 10 grand.
Just repairs and maintenance, oil change, all that shebang. Not even including fuel costs. I would drop in the 2 years I've owned it. I've dropped about 4 grand, maybe a bit more, on that car.
Within a year?
That's
Within
that's
two
two
years.
that's
Oh,
that's
2
two
years.
years combined. Yeah,
Uh,
but
I want to say
yeah,
honestly, I don't think that that's that bad. I think like $1,000 a year is like pretty reasonable for like even like a highly reliable car.
no,
So
no,
yeah,
that's like
I
four
guess
grand. So that's 2 grand a year.
two grand a year.
mhm.
I've owned it for just about 2 years.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. You're like
Yeah,
basically at double that, which is
yeah.
that's not too
Ah,
terrible, but you also have to take in consideration how much money you make, though. Like
make
Yeah.
you don't make a shit
I
load.
don't make a lot. Let's put it this way. I That car is an entirely different tax bracket than what I'm from where I am.
Like I could easily afford 2 grand a year. Two
Mhm.
grand for a whole year, probably fine for me. But like if I wasn't making as much money as I make right now, I don't know if I'd be okay with
Yeah, if b- but yeah, somehow I'm making it manage a bit of a loophole here, a bit of a financial flexibility there. I've
that.
managed
Man,
to
just trade it in
keep
for a
afloat.
Honda, bro. You can get
Yeah.
an Accord for like
I want to get the new Accords. Have you seen the new Accords?
Mm-mm.
yeah.
It looks like there's an 80s future aesthetic to it. Like there's a retro future
Like the
aesthetic to it. Like
2023 Accord?
yeah, like the rear light is like all blacked out and smoky, but like it looks like it's straight from the 80s, but in a good way.
Gotcha.
Did
And
even
the front looks so like low key menacing.
The Accord actually looks
even the
completely different.
yeah, it looks
Ye-
different now, the brand new one.
Yeah,
But even the ones from 2 to 3 to 5 years ago, they still look nice, dude. And you can get those for like pretty cheap.
Yo, the inside looks sick though.
what the Accord
Yeah, the interiors look good.
for 20? I haven't seen the interior, but 2023.
Wait, is it midsize sedan? Oh, it's a sedan. Okay,
Yeah,
midsize. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I thought it was just
Yeah.
a sedan.
interior. Oh, dang.
Right?
The white leather, the black
I like the
panels. Ooh.
center display. That looks really nice. But besides, before we
That's
get too
that's fairly
distracted
standard
with
though. Oh yeah, yeah.
the Honda Accord,
Where were we originally? Starting the podcast. Like
I want us
you
to
know.
close out with the last 20 minutes of the podcast with figuring
Oh,
out a
okay.
solid intro so we can just reuse that over and over, and a solid outro. I think that's what we need.
I don't know. It'll be like, hey guys, this is the Hit or Miss podcast. I'm Matt, your host, and these are my two co-hosts, Nathan and Frank. Say hi to the channel. We'll both say our highs,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
just
then
something
just
like
be
that.
like,
Just something that, Matt can just consistently just
yeah.
go and say and say and say and say.
Why don't we just have a pre-recorded video and we just edit it onto the front every single time?
That works too.
You know what I mean? Instead of having to say it every we should just have
Yeah,
like a
but
pre-recorded thing like what's
we're
up
gonna
guys?
have to.
Welcome to the what? Go ahead.
Well, what do you call this? If it is a video though, like that can work in audio, but like in a video form, people will see like we wore this, we wear a different shirt that day, but the pre-recorded video has us wearing this shirt. Does that
That's
make sense?
that's fine. I'm not trying to hide the fact that it's a pre-recorded intro. Like it's just an intro.
No, okay, I guess, yeah, I guess. And then just transition from the intro to be like, okay, guys, what are we talking about today, kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, how are we gonna do that? If you
All right, so
do the
take one.
honors, take
Take one.
one.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you for joining us today. This is the Hit or Miss podcast. I got my co-host here with me, Frank and Nathan, and
Hey.
welcome. Hope we have fun today.
Nice. I like it. I
Gotta
like it a
put more
lot.
energy into it. You
What?
didn't sound like you wanted. You didn't sound enthused about the intro.
Nah, man. That's a solid intro. That's gonna work. We're gonna use that, and then when Matt feels like it's not enough, then we'll re-record it in the future. Can we
Yeah,
do
we
like
can always
two more takes of that? Can we do 2 more takes of that?
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, how about pause in the in between saying my name and Frank's name? That way, like Frank can say his hi, and then I can say my hi after you
Okay.
say the name.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, what's up? This is the Hit or Mid podcast. I have today with me my co-hosts. All right, retake.
Retake. You didn't even introduce yourself, man.
Okay.
All right. Deep breaths. Game face on.
Hey guys, what's up? Today, no, I fucked it up again.
You want to type
This
it out?
This is totally different with like fucking pressure and like a script. It's totally different. It's totally different than just like freestyle talking. All right.
All right.
All right.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You gotta not cut any of this out of the podcast too.
Oh yeah, no, this is staying.
It's gotta be part of the blooper reel, man. All right.
All right.
Hey guys, what's up? Today we're on the Hit or Miss podcast.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm
let's go
sorry.
again,
I'm
let's go.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me help you. Okay, we're gonna start with like you have your intro. Hi guys. Okay, and then you can say this is Matt. You can say your last name if you want. Welcome to the Hit or Miss podcast.
Nah, don't DDoS yourself, man.
Just say
What
Matt.
do you mean?
Just,
Say my first name. It's not DDoSing.
No. I mean like saying like your last name.
if you okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
don't
DDoS
say
yourself
my-
with your last name then. All right, just say
Dude,
your first name.
People easily find your last name online. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but-
everyone has Facebook
okay.
anyways.
All right. So what am I gonna say? Hey guys, welcome to the Hit or Miss podcast.
This is Matt, your host.
This is Matt, your host, with my two co-hosts, Frank, and then let Frank say hi,
What's
and
up?
then Nathan, let Nathan say hi.
Yellow.
And then how do you
Not
want
a-
to
not a
end
solo,
that?
And
So
So what's a good ending? Like
like what? Yeah,
Uh,
transition into like the main pod. Like what can we use to transition into the actual podcast?
I should just say something stupid like let's have fun today, or
no.
Yeah,
Today's
yeah.
podcast is gonna be a hit or miss.
today's podcast
Yeah.
might be a hit or might be a miss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And with
well,
that, let's get started.
okay.
Okay.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us on the Hit or Miss. Oh my god, can't even fucking talk. All right. Hey guys, thank you for joining us on the Hit or Miss podcast. This is your host, Matt. I have with me today Frank
What's up?
and Nathan.
Yellow.
These are my two co-hosts, and today is either going to be a hit or a miss, guys.
Awesome. See, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. That's perfect. All right. So with that being said, we have another 10 minutes to figure out a nice closer for our podcast. So what's
Oh, here.
a good one?
Okay, this has been the Hit or Miss podcast, and what do you guys? And tell us in the comment section whether if it was a hit or a miss.
Okay, I like
Okay.
that. That's a good one.
We should say that, yeah, like at the end.
Yeah.
We
we
also
should
should plug in.
definitely-
Like if it's a hit, dislike if it's a miss, or something like that. I don't know.
that
Anyways.
works. Gotta plug our social medias. So with that being said,
Yeah.
just a simple hey, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know what else we're on. What else are we on?
Links are going to be in the bio, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Or
follow
links
us.
are going to be in.
Yeah, links in the bio. Yeah, follow us on our social media. Links in the bio. That's simple. You don't have to list them all out.
Cool. Right.
And then we should also preference saying, join us in the next episode.
And
There
the
should
next
be
episode,
there
maybe
should
a hit
always
or
be a
miss.
call to there should always be a call to action though, on the outro.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's the follow us on all the social medias. Link in the bios.
okay, gotcha.
Alright,
Subscribe for more.
we're ready.
I don't know.
No, that's very generic YouTuber. We're not trying to be that. Like, our audience is smart enough to know to subscribe on their own or not. We don't need to be telling them to do that.
No,
But yeah.
you're supposed to tell them that. dude.
No,
Are
we
you
should make
supposed
fun
to?
of our
Okay.
we should make fun of
Because
our audience.
It's kind of like a commonly known metric on YouTube that like a lot of people watch videos without ever subscribing to it. So that's why like
Ah.
all the bigger YouTubers will say like you have to have a call to action, like please hit that subscribe button or please ring that bell so if you don't want to miss another episode, like that kind of thing, because people that like really like you and like
Mhm.
really do want to like see more content from you, they'll just forget sometimes to subscribe, so you just have to remind them. Like that's what a lot of people say. So
Okay. Anyways, we got our game plan on the outro.
We'll do a
yeah,
couple
so
of tests.
is it me saying it again?
Yeah.
Alright.
Actually, give me do a couple.
Are
practice
you
runs,
really
'cause
having
my
the Kim
phone-
Possible
Yeah, my phone is going off. Give me a second.
unprofessional? Totally unprofessional. Look at this.
Gotcha. Okay. I will be
Silent. You
out
can't
there.
silence your phone.
to go pick up the gift. Okay.
Is that his girlfriend or something?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
All right.
Totally
So,
unprofessional, man. Totally unprofessional. What was that about?
all right.
Never silenced your phone before when it comes to a podcast?
Nope. You're definitely right. I just didn't expect time to fly. But
Shame.
do you think we can? Do you guys want to do like 4 minutes worth of practice, because I like have to like go. So if you nail it on the first try, we gotta end it like immediately.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Matt, pressure's on you, no pressure.
All right, guys. So that was the episode. If you want to follow us for more, please go to our bio. All the links to all our social medias are there, and we hope you guys join us again and grow with us, guys. Grow with us, not only in your professional lives, but also in your personal lives. So, peace out.
Peace.
Perfect.
You didn't say the hit or miss part.
Okay, we can just say it right now and then just
Alright,
like
you
clip
cut
it
it in.
into there.
Alright.
Also, guys, let us know in the comments whether or not this was a hit or a miss. Hit or miss podcast. Oh, fuck, dude.
We
Just
can
cut that last
it off.
part
Yeah,
out.
cut that last part out. Alright.
Because I
That's-
paused
this is gonna
for a
be-
good
yeah.
amount of time.
This is gonna
after
go in the
what I said.
blooper reel too anyway.
Okay.
Alright, anyways, cut. We're good?
Yeah, no, that was a good podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff. I think equipment wise, we did a good recap, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about some random stuff, but overall, like, you know, where we want to take the channel. So again, more brainstorming. That's great. Finally, we got a good intro. We got an outro that I can just use over and over. I'm still trying to get the first episode up. I just for some reason I can't convert it to a proper video format so I can edit it, because it's just not reading in my editing platform. So I might just go ahead and just upload the entire thing onto YouTube regardless of what is in it, if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll do that. Hopefully it'll be up later today. And then with this podcast, gonna do some light editing, especially with the intro and outro, and then I'll call it our first episode. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I will talk to you later. I will. Hopefully, this recording is good.
All right, guys. So that was the episode. If you want to follow us for more, please go to our bio. All the links to all our social medias are there, and we hope you guys join us again and grow with us, guys. Grow with us, not only in your professional lives, but also in your personal lives. So, peace out. Also, guys, let us know in the comments whether or not this was a hit or a miss.